So in this video, would just like to continue from what I was discussing from my previous video, and there was just so much information that hit me that I just couldn't get it all out in a cohesive manner. I am constantly getting this information, and it's so hard to just keep track of it all and put it in together in a nice, succinct fashion. So anyways, going back to the silver and golden gates that I was discussing, to reiterate, to sum it up, as seen on the constellation maps of Orion, Osiris masculine and the Taurus feminine are pointing at the silver gate feminine and Ophiuchus Isis feminine. And as we know, Ophiuchus is the serpent bearer, and Scorpio masculine are pointing at the golden gate masculine. This is a perfect mirror representing how balance is needed in all things. So one interesting factoid about scorpions that I didn't mention in my previous video is that scorpion mothers and Scorpio can be related to Isis. So scorpion mothers carry their newly born young on their backs for protection. The babies, called scorplings, have a very soft exoskeleton at birth and need to be shielded from predators and the elements. So they stay on their mother's back for a few weeks, typically until the first molt, when their exoskeleton hardens. And unlike many arachnids, scorpions give birth to live young rather than laying eggs. So I thought it was really interesting that Ophiuchus is basically standing on Scorpio's back. So you could think of Scorpio as the mother of Ophiuchus. And also, I like to reference the Bible here. So in Luke 10:19, Yeshua states, "Behold, I have given you authority to tread on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing will injure you." So I think this verse is pointing us towards the galactic center, or centaur, if you would like to think of it in those terms. So CENTER really is pointing towards CENTAUR, the galactic centaur, the Milky Way. So I thought it was really interesting, the fact, nature also has pieces to the puzzle that we can look at to further connect dots. And another interesting thing here about scorpions is, so here it says, yes, of course we have to circle around to Isis, for Isis is a formidable scorpion goddess herself. In this guise, she is called Iset Tawahet. Don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Isis, the scorpion. In other texts, Isis is joined with Serket Hetet, the scorpion goddess, she who causes the throat to breathe, as Isis Serket. It is interesting to note that since scorpion venom is a neurotoxin, death from a scorpion sting is by asphyxiation, that is suffocating. At Isis sanctuary at Koptos, it was said that during the time when the women ritually lamented with the goddess, they could walk through a mass of scorpions unharmed. So see how they just said they could walk through a mass of scorpions unharmed? And that also ties into Luke 10:19, where he said he will give you authority to tread on serpents and scorpions. So you could see the connections here. So late legend had it that scorpions would refuse to sting any woman or any worshiper of Isis, for that matter, out of respect for the goddess. So it's interesting, the similarities here from the Bible and the Egyptian mythology. So scorpions are considered the faithful companions, protectors, and guides of Isis in one of her most famous myths. So in the tale, Isis is fleeing in an attempt to hide her newborn child Horus from Set. 7 magical scorpions accompany her. In what smacks of a ritual formula, we are told that the scorpions Tephen and Bethen walked behind Isis. On her right was Metset, on her left Metztef. Before her walked Petet, Thetet, and Maatet. So I thought that was interesting, and some more interesting information here. So we know that Antares is the heart of the Scorpio constellation. Yes, so it is located in the constellation Scorpio and is known as the heart of Scorpio. So what I found interesting here was within medieval Jewish and Christian cosmology, the heart of the scorpion would be associated with the archangel Uriel, the angel of wisdom, truth, and light who delivers God's message among mortals. Islamic cosmology identifies the star Antares with Azrael, the angel of death. And as we know, Antares is the principal host star for the 18th lunar station. Manzil al-Kalb, heart, means heart. Gayat al-Hakim describes the symbolic image of this asterism to be that of a snake holding its tail above its head. Its indicator star is Antares. The angelic lord of this manzil is Egrabel. Al-Kalb's key theme is protection. Workings on this manzil benefit conspiring against rulers, avenging injustices, liberating captives, and separating friends. It is also favorable for the strengthening of buildings, planting, sowing, traveling, and for war. Gayat al-Hakim says of al-Kalb, in this manzil, make images for men to conspire against kings and vengeance against enemies and whatever else of this nature you wish, to construct buildings that will be strong, to free captives from incarceration, and to separate friends. So the nakshatra here is Jyestha, eldest or elder. The symbol for this asterism is of an amulet, pendant, ear jewel, or umbrella. It is the celestial abode of Indra, the king of the devas in heaven, god of sky, lightning, thunder, storms, rains, rivers, and war. The indicator star is Antares, and the planetary lord is Mercury. Its temperament is considered fierce and sharp. The name for this nakshatra comes from the goddess of adversity and misfortune Jyestha, who is the eldest sister of the goddess Lakshmi. Jyestha was seen as the negative qualities of a traditional housewife by patriarchal standards, while Lakshmi denotes the positive qualities. The goddess Jyestha is associated with inauspicious places, sinners, sloth, poverty, sorrow, and ugliness. The nakshatra is seen favorable for punishment, torture, imprisonment, exorcism, mesmerism, and separations. As a goddess, Jyestha was depicted as having a long nose and in some instances is described as elephant-faced. Alluding to her power for removing obstacles, some believe her to be a precursor to Ganesha for these reasons, and as such, the nakshatra is said to bestow power, prosperity, and success to its natives. Its gifts include psychic skills and occult powers, profundity, inventiveness, courageousness, and protectiveness. So I thought those were also interesting aspects of the Scorpio constellation, and then I also found this other interesting thing here. So in the galactic center, we have a pulsating snake. It's the first millisecond pulsar discovered in the galactic center. So interesting, because we are also now in the year of the snake, and all of these happenings are just amazing to me. So astronomers from the Australia Telescope National Facility report the discovery of a new millisecond pulsar in the snake, a radio filament in the galactic center. It is the first millisecond pulsar detected in the center of our galaxy. The finding was detailed in a paper published April 13th on the preprint server ARXIV. Pulsars are highly magnetized rotating neutron stars, emitting a beam of electromagnetic radiation. The most rapidly rotating pulsars with rotation periods below 30 milliseconds are known as millisecond pulsars. Astronomers assume that they are formed in binary systems when the initially more massive component turns into a neutron star that is then spun up due to accretion of matter from the secondary star. So just all this information here. The snake is a radio filament located in the galactic center of the Milky Way galaxy. It is one of the brightest radio filaments discovered. And just looking at the pictures here of the cosmic broken bone, the snake, it's just amazing, all these discoveries that they're making, and it's just so relevant to what is happening right now in our world. See that snake in galactic plane. So I'm just curious. It must have something to do with Ophiuchus, the serpent bearer, and the raising of the Kundalini serpent energy. So I guess as time progresses, we will the story will further unfold, and now that we are in the age of Aquarius, things are going to, speed up, and all of the knowledge is going to be pouring onto us. So that will be really cool to see what other information with all these solar flares, the plasma, how it's all going to affect us and our world. Thanks for watching.